Jayo Radha Madhova Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vrijanarajana Yashodanandana Vrijanarajana Yashodanandana Vrijanarajana Yamuna Tira Vadati Yamuna Tira Vadati Elora Madhoma We can never even imagine to ever hear a place which can have this kind of description. Can we hear any place like this? There every word is a song. Kala cannot pass a moment. This is not a moment it can pass. In the sense, the material Kala that we know of in this world, every moment, there is past, present, future. But in the spiritual world, there is no past, present, future. In the sense that nothing changes. There is no birth there, no growth there, no old age there, no disease, no death, nothing. These all things are absent in the spiritual world. They don't think the small children are getting birth there. No, they don't see in the spiritual world. It's eternal. It's an eternal abode. Krishna showed even in the Rasa Leela or the Gopis pastime, we don't see any children taking birth. A similar instance. Goloka, there is nothing like that. Everything is situated eternally. Nothing is changing. There was one devotee wrote to Prabhupada, that Prabhupada, they had some fax machines. At that time there were no fax machines. Some kind of telegraph machines. That time, 1960s, 70s. So Prabhupada, we can put between all temples. Prabhupada said, what is there to share? Same thing is going on everywhere. Every day it is the same thing. Because he is used to the spiritual world. Spiritual world, there is no news like the material world. Hey, material world, what is the news? One bomb blast, 50 people died. That's the news. There is no other news. In the spiritual world, this kind of news doesn't exist. The same activity, every day, same activity. Gopis go and every day they dance with Krishna. Every day Mother Yashoda gives some milk to Krishna, and every day he does some naughty activity and she enjoys. And just like children are very sweet when they are very small. Everybody feels that. So if the child can remain like that all the time, very, very sweet, yes, go to Goloka, it is like that. And you will not get ordinary child, you will get Krishna. Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of pleasure. Keep playing with him. Every day it will be same. Same Krishna will come to you every day. He will not age by 1 second. Same. No change. But what changes every day? What is the change there? Our affection for Krishna increases every day. And there is no limit to where it can go. Prabhupada says, the gopis' desire, when they come to love Krishna, their desire is unlimited. And the supply is also unlimited. In the material world, when we go to meet somebody for affection, he rather breaks our heart. He cannot supply. But the real commodity actually is what Krishna gives, unlimited. There is no limit to as much Krishna can supply. So, but we have to become a candidate to go there, but first thing we have to have faith. It starts with faith, whole thing starts with faith. And it is very nicely said of Prabhupada that Anyway, you have to have faith. A common man, you see, now they talk about Higgs boson or something scientists see. Now I can't see that actually, I have to just believe them. Anyway, I am living my life by faith. Anyway, how much I believe the scientists in the world today. Correct? Am I seeing those things? No. 99.99% I'll never see in my life also. But I accept by faith. Yeah, they are saying. The same way, why can't you accept the scriptures by faith? What's your problem? Anyway, you exercise faith. Why don't you exercise faith in the words of the great acharyas? But that requires fortune. Therefore, it is said, Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmana Vaishnave, Salpa Punya Vatan Rajan, Vishwash Na Eva Jayate. It says, by a small punya, you will not get faith into these items. Mahaprasada of the Lord, oh, this is transcendental. Govinda, Krishna, Nama, name of the Lord. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada says very nicely. He says, when a devotee desires to serve the Lord, he explains this shloka. I was just reading some of his works. It's this shloka that Athasya Krishna Namadi Na Braved Gayam Indriye Sevan Mukhe Jivadu Swayameva Spuratiyata. So he says, because Nam Adi, beginning with the name, he says the Nama of the Lord, when you have a desire to serve Him, manifests on your tongue and then you start chanting it incessantly. You feel like chanting. Therefore, so many times we see people who keep telling chant, chant, chant. They don't develop because that service attitude has not come. They don't want to serve the Lord. Therefore, the Nama will not manifest in their tongue. Never, it will not manifest. It's, see, Nama of the Lord is the incarnation of the Lord. You can't create an incarnation. You can say, I have created an incarnation. Can you create an incarnation? Correct? Can you create an incarnation? You can't create an incarnation. Who you? Where you have the power to create an incarnation? So the real Nama of the Lord will manifest on your tongue when you develop the desire to serve them. Then you will be able to chant. Therefore, say Aho Bato Gariya. Brahmanuju. We used to, anyway. So now what is happening is that the Nama of the Lord, it says, what the shloka says, in the essence, it says that this person is so glorious, the name of the Lord has manifest on his tongue. Correct? Tapas, he must have done all the tapasya possible. He must have gone to all the holy places. He must have done all this kind of pilgrimage, just like went to so many holy places in Tamil Nadu. Correct? This is already he must have gone. All the tirthas he must have visited, and then he must have done all the yagnas, homas, read all the scriptures, everything he must have, all punya, everything he must have done. Because the name of the Lord is manifest on his tongue. Therefore, sometimes devotee asks Prabhupada, I should do all these things. Had we done this thing, we would not have been born in this Mlecha Yamuna communities. Okay? You will take at least birth in India if you have done all these things. We are born in Africa, Russia, America, Europe. That means we never did all these things. So where we got all these things? Where we got this? You have to get this. This shloka cannot be wrong. If the shloka says that, see, nothing can be wrong in the scripture. The shloka says, unless somebody has done all this thing, the holy name of the Lord will not come on his tongue. So they asked Prabhupada this question, that we definitely never did all this thing, otherwise we will not be born in this sinful families where from childhood we ate chicken soup. Correct? From childhood itself they put meat in the mouth of the child, thinking that without it he will, die. So in India also I heard some families, they find it they may not ever eat meat and they are strictly vegetarian. But children, they feel it, doctor says, no, for his health good, they start cooking also. I have heard some Brahminical families also. Very important point. Proteins he will get. They break every rules and regulation. So the question, there in West it is common, from childhood meat starts. You have taken birth, sin starts from that moment itself. So the question is this, that they ask where you got all this, all this kind of effect. Prabhupada said, I gave you. No, he said, I gave you. So therefore, if you don't have, get it from the Acharya. He can give you. He can give you. He is representing the Lord. Acharya Mama. Therefore, when Krishna says in the Bhagavata that Acharya you should know to be myself, don't ever neglect the Acharya. You should respect him as you respect me. Why? Because what Krishna can give, he can give. And he says that it is not that he's not like a Kanishta posing like an Acharya, he's a bona fide Acharya. So he's saying, I give you. And therefore, recently I got these videos of Prabhupada, and I was just watching a lot of videos. You can see how much they were blissfully chanting, what ecstasy it is, how ecstatically they are chanting. It's given, take. And how? They just did little service, take, given, granted. So then we develop the taste actually. Otherwise, as much a person may try his best, the name will not come. Because you say, not different from the Lord. There is no difference between God and His name. It is absolute. No? Just like a scripture, we worship scripture. It is not different from God. It is His word. In absolute, there is no difference. The God's name, God's form, God's pastime, God's paraphernalia, God's activities are all divya, are all transcendental. So the Lord will manifest in our tongue, provided we pray to the Lord. My Lord, I like to serve you. He will make arrangement. He will give you that. Just like, suppose you want to become the President of America, you develop a desire. That's the most powerful seat of power today. And so slowly China is becoming powerful, whatever. You develop the most powerful post in the world. Just like so many youngsters today, they like to do IS. They say we want power. So you develop, you want a desire. But the point is, when you develop a desire, you have a desire, I want to attain that opulence or power. What Krishna does is that He guides you. Do this, do this, do this. He see, just like there is a currency in this world. Correct? You want to buy iPhone, you need money, no? You want to buy Mercedes, you need money. You need cash. So you have to accumulate cash to be able to purchase that. Correct or not? Isn't it? Otherwise you can't buy. The same way, if you want to occupy a particular post of power or opulence, the real currency is not this cash. This is just a dummy currency. Real currency is your punya, which you have to accumulate. And Krishna guides you to accumulate that punya. You will be guided. Do this activity. Do this. Do this. You will get proper faith in whom to follow. Slowly, as your punya accumulates, just like in the city, so many apartments are there. Correct? Now some apartments are come up worth 2 crores. If you have money, you can purchase them. You don't have money, you have to be satisfied with a small apartment. Correct? It will be based on the capacity, what money you have. So many varieties of cars are there, based on the capacity you purchase. So similarly, Krishna is not partial. Some people are very opulently situated, some people are very poorly situated. Correct? Krishna is not partial. He is left it to the laws of karma to arrange them. So laws of karma, what they do, they just see your punya. Now, you have a desire, but Krishna, as a Supreme Father, just like any father, fulfills all the desires of his children. Whatever you want, so particularly small children, he fulfills any desire they have. So similarly, you have a desire, I want to be President of America. Krishna will fulfill that desire, but not whimsically. Then he becomes partial. Correct? Then he becomes partial if he just fulfills the desire. Okay, you earn that. You earn that through karma. You have to earn punya to get that. And if we see some people, just like that they make money. So we start, this fellow is such a crazy fellow. How is it that he made so much money? Some punya is there which manifested. Take it. Done. So now in the same way, when you want to serve Krishna, this punya is of no use. And this is the highest thing. Because material punya, whatever you do, is temporary. And bhaya tivra is waiting for you. Tivra bhaya means fearful, ghastly fearful condition is waiting for all of us. Therefore, Prabhupada says, the scientists have done nothing. Sometimes he laughs when devotees are talking. He said, what they have done in the past, this bhaya tivra is as it is. Because people don't see real problems of life. They close their eyes, that doesn't exist. Because bhaya tivra then is there, just like, small animals, some birds, they close their eyes when the dangerous condition comes. So similarly, modern society, I told you many times, at my home, whenever I used to talk about death, hey, don't talk all this. This is an obstacle. North India we say Apshakun. I don't know what you say in Kannada. You say Apshakun. Don't talk about this. Apshakun. So people want to close their eyes to Bhaya Tivra, and one day it comes and hits you. If you avoid truth, one day it will come and crush you. You should not avoid the truth. That is the foolishness. That materialistic people do that. They avoid the truth. And they go to astrologers and they are satisfied. Astrologers tell this. And you have 10 more years and they will be very satisfied. We will see after 10 years the Bhayativa. Just like, exam is after 2 years, you will see that later. Now let me enjoy. So similarly, they go to astrologers and they say 10 more years you have to live. And isn't it? Many people do that. And then they are blissful. And let me, like a bakara, just like a goat eats grass in a slaughterhouse. He can't. Actually, the goat is feeling, let me enjoy my life till the last minute. He has no proper conception of that. So let us come back now. So this all is useless because it is temporary. So even becoming the biggest post in the world, Bhaya Tivra is there. Artificially, you know what happens? These landmarks are kept in the society. And we feel if I achieve these landmarks, my life will be successful. We all feel like that. If I achieve that landmark, my life will be so successful. But actually if you go, meet that person, he will not be happy. But if you go, suppose to the Chief Minister of Karnataka now, you say, how did you achieve? You should have worked hard. There's that, but look at his condition. You know what is the condition? He doesn't know how many days he's going to survive, whether he will even win his MLA post. He's in great tension within his party, there is politics outside. But externally, he will not tell that because the goal of life is to achieve that post of power and respect, When they come out, they have 50 cars following them and he feels that's the ambition in life, correct? People look like that. There was some yesterday, somebody was telling some show, everybody has brought a big car, And people buy in the small town like Mangalore, 5 crore rupee car, they buy. From half a kilometer they will travel. Sometimes doctors also buy expensive car. Travel whole day to lie only outside the nursing home. He never uses it actually. For 5 minutes from home he goes to nursing home, that's it. After the car lies outside the nursing home. Night he comes back for 5 minutes. He uses for 10 minutes per day. But he feels, he has to show. Without that, what is life? So like that, we are also affected. So these things we have to keep aside if you want to really succeed in spiritual life. Spiritual life is called a labor of love. Prabhupada says, learn it, labor of love. We do sadhana bhakti, and as we do sadhana, we have to have faith. So therefore, spiritual life starts Shraddha. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasha Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Krita. Shraddha Shabda is not ordinary. Shraddha means if I just serve Krishna, my life will be successful. This should get inside our heart. It's not that we don't do anything else, but this we should not forget. There is so many people, particularly in Christian religion, they have that. Prabhupada many times have that. Parents came to, we were hearing a big discourse going on to it. Some parent, somebody joined. And the mother of the devotee came with the father to argue with Prabhupada. Big argument is going on. So that's enough, no, he is telling. It's enough, no, you should just believe in God and over. Why? Prabhupada said, no. You have to practice. God is great is enough. You have to realize how great He is. Otherwise, you will not understand. And then the argument goes on in so many angles. But people just feel like that. Just some kind of a superficial faith. You can't cheat Krishna like that. You can cheat people. I have faith in the Lord. You can cheat people like that. You can cheat. It's very easy to cheat people. But you can't cheat Krishna. Correct? Krishna knows how much he has developed that faith, and that is spiritual life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Bija, by the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna, we get a seed of devotion in the heart. And then we have regularly, by learned labor of love, that plant has to grow. That faith has to grow. That is called Shraddha. And the difference between Shraddha and Nishtha is very big. And difference between Nishtha and Ruchi is very big. All these are stages. The first stage is that, now I was just going to explanation that Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada gives. He says Shraddha means this full faith. And he translated it very nicely. He says full trust. Shraddha means trust. Full trust. Just like we have 1 crore cash with you, correct? You will not be even giving to your easy friend also, correct? Because there is no record of it, he can keep and run away. He can run away with that. So what do you have to do? You will give to somebody you really trust if he can't hold it at that moment. The trust is not easy, correct? Is trust easy? Can you easily develop trust in anybody? So to develop trust in Krishna, you say, I trust Krishna. Really? That's not easy. That's not easy. It takes millions of lifetime to develop trust in Krishna. So Shraddha is other than it started by the mercy of Guru. Therefore, when you see Prabhupada, don't look at the academic knowledge. Therefore, Prabhupada wants some of his disciples went too much academic. Prabhupada said, be careful. Ours is not too much scholarly. Ours is a bhakti process. Don't lose sight of that. Some of the disciples, they were learning Sanskrit, even to help Prabhupada in all the word meaning, then they were going deep inside Sanskrit. Prabhupada, there's nothing wrong in studying Sanskrit. But that should never become your area of pride. Be careful about that. Because that will become an obstacle in your spiritual advancement. Jnana karmadi anavritam. What does it mean? Jnana, pure bhakti means anyavilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. Any knowledge which is not conducive for advancement in Krishna consciousness, correct? Which is not just a pure devotee, is not interested even in the knowledge. You tell him some information, just like in Bhagavatam we have that information, where the sages and emissaries are hearing from Suta Goswami, once upon a time there was a king and he saw a cow being slaughtered and he objected to that and he was about to punish him severely. That is, they're talking about Parikshit Maharaj. Sages and emissaries said, dear Suta Goswami, please don't mind. If this instance is not related to Krishna, we are not interested to hear. Just imagine, in a Vedic culture, the cow being slaughtered is a very big news. We are not interested to hear if this event is not related to Krishna. But anyway, why did he kill that fellow? What was this just being punished? Anyway. But first they said that we are not interested to hear it if it is not related to Krishna. And then they continue. The human life is to drink the nectar of the glories of the lotus feet of the Lord. Why waste even a single moment? Imagine, they were all actually Paramahamsas. We just go how elevated the people were, those sages, correct? When you look at their discussion, they are saying they look to be so elevated. They were drinking, they also were drinking the pleasure of hearing Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami. Great pleasure. So now we should be very careful therefore. This plant, when you are growing this plant, so many weeds grow. Therefore we have to read regularly the scripture. You are trusting in Krishna, you are growing your trust on Krishna. So many unwanted things. Just like so many people don't find Krishna very attractive. At this time for them, cricket match is very attractive. Krishna is not attractive. For somebody, some girlfriend is attractive. For somebody, some movie is attractive. Correct? Krishna is not attractive for them. What is the meaning? They develop, believe in God. What believe in God? What is attractive for you? Let us see. Believe in God is there, but let us see whether it has developed into attraction or not for the Lord. Correct? Because advancement means, see, it's not that I am on some high platform. Let us be honest. But the point is, it's my duty now. Because I have been asked to speak, I should speak openly without any, don't feel hurt. So now the point is that where our attraction is developed, because jnana and vairagya is the symptom of spiritual advancement. If I am advancing, why is it that vairagya is not manifesting? Why is it that attraction for Krishna is not manifesting? Jnana doesn't mean my academic knowledge. Jnana means my attraction for Krishna. That is real jnana. And vairagya detached, why they are not manifesting if I am advanced? So one can check for ourselves actually. We can say, I just believe in God, when I die He will take me to His kingdom. But sir, be honest. That is sometimes we tell people chant. All the time it is going on. All the time what is going on we know. We don't want to tell you. It will hurt you. But what is going on we know in Kali Yuga. So first the trust is very important to develop the trust. And Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada says when the trust comes to the Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, he said next landmark after these three additional processes is Nirantara service of the Lord, that is Nishtha. Nishtha means that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also talks about that. Madhyamadhikari means Kanishtadhikari. What is the definition Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Atsat Sangha Tyaga. He rejects the association of people who are worldly minded. Who are the Stri Sangi Eka. Correct? Just like those who are youngsters in the college, they can very much so. Yeah? Prabhupada said the basic mistake of the youth today is one thing, they are lazy bumps. Lazy bumps. Everywhere I see, anytime some college, some student comes here, we see them sleeping 15 hours. That's the average we have seen them, correct? Yesterday night also somebody came, slept till 9 o'clock in the morning. I had to make them get up before me. I was already in a bad mood seeing them. You know, this is lazy bumps first. And second problem is, previously no lazy bumps possible. Because everything was hard work. You had to earn your livelihood, you had to go to the field. You had to work. No tractors. When Srila Prabhupada went to his farms which he established around the world and he saw tractors, and remove the tractors first because I don't want to create lazy bumps. Modern civilization only creates lazy bumps. Lazy bumps means lazy. They can't constructively organize their day and do work for 5 minutes properly. That is I'm not saying everybody, overall. Maybe in medicine they make them work hard, but engineering is a terrible experience. Lazy bumps. So then what happens is that the second problem is the work purposes of prayers. Immediate enjoyment. Immediate. They can't think that this thing at tomorrow if people come to know, they will spit at my face. Why I want to do it? Immediate enjoyment. They can't think of one moment later. You know, the same discussion of that woman and that Prabhupada. One person became full-time devotee and the mother came to fight with Prabhupada. She was going on and on. So one of the disciples, she then blurts out from her own mouth, my son was recently taking drugs. So the disciple starts laughing. You have no objection to that, huh? No, he was just experimenting. So that is how it is, not one. We see some 40 to 60% by the time they finish college, in India also, they experimented with drugs. Experimented with drugs, they just want. Why don't experiment with Krishna Nama if you want to really experiment? Why don't you experiment in the Nama any way you want? That's why the devotees in America did that. That's the trick they used, you know. They said that, any way you are experimenting, why don't you experiment with the holy name? You will really stay high forever. Because drugs means you go for some kind of hallucination, then you crash. Why don't you do Harinama Japa? You will be permanently elevated above. You will not crash down. So like that, prayers is a mistake. And Krishna consciousness is Shreyas. Therefore, it is learned labor on Lord. It's not that in one moment it happens. So, Shraddha, that is trust in Krishna. That also is not easy. That is the bija. Bhakti. That comes the mercy of Guru and Krishna. You have to accept the words of an Acharya and Krishna. That is both transparent. There is no controversy. Krishna and Acharya are saying the same thing. Correct? You trust that word. Anyway, you trust in your life, everybody. Correct? You have to trust that, yes. Then, Shraddha starts. If I just serve the Lord, my life will be successful. This is where the spiritual life starts, not ends. And people think this is the end. No, there's a start, only the start. And the next level, as it goes on, comes to the point which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the definition of Madhyamadhikari. What is the definition of Madhyamadhikari? Nirantara Nama Japa. That is the definition of Madhyamadhikari. Correct? He constantly chants the holy names of the Lord. There is a shloka for that. You know the shloka? And the Uttamadhikari, the definition, which is the topmost stage, is that just by seeing him, people become devotees. He doesn't have to speak also. Just by seeing him. Because his devotion to Krishna, sadhana is not there. It's natural. So basically, Krishna consciousness is permeating through all his existence. Even he sleeps, you seeing that itself, you will feel like chanting. If you see him, you will sleep. Therefore, a pure devotee, even if he sleeps someplace, that is also tirtha. Whatever he does, he is creating tirtha every second. He uses the lota, that is tirtha. He uses a cane, that is tirtha. Therefore, rightly, in every temple of ISKCON, wherever Prabhupada went, you see one room is kept. Nobody is allowed to use anything in that room. You can't use anything in that room. That is like a memorial, Prabhupada memorial kept. Yes, it has to be like that. Everything becomes tirtha. Why? Because he is not, see, point is that there are 3 stages. One stage is that we develop faith, I should serve the Lord. Okay? Just like we are doing. Now there is one more stage which you have to reach, where nirantara, constantly person is engaged in service to the Lord without cessation. That is the second stage called madhyamadikari, which corresponds to nishtha in that ladder. Then there is one more stage, which is uttamadikari stage, where there is no sadhana. Naturally, his heart has melted down for Krishna. This is the highest stage. So a person has to make, therefore, learned labor of love. He has to, Prabhupada used to say, don't try to see God. You do something that God will see you. Therefore, Prabhupada also writes in his purport, the situation comes when Krishna starts seeing you. It's not just ordinary, when we get noticed by the Lord. And for that is learned labor of love. Correct? Just like we see the rubbish behavior of boyfriend, girlfriend in this world. Correct? In that rubbish behavior, what do they do? Oh, they're trying every day, some sweet, some chocolate. Every day they try to pamper. Correct? No? We see that every day. So similar way, just understand, that is not love, that's lust actually. Just like Ravana is a personification of lust. And Lord Rama is a personification of love. And next week, Saturday is Ram Navami. You're all welcome. In the evening, we'll have a function. What is Ravana? Personification of lust. And people are not big today, they're small Ravanas. Big Ravana you will not get. And if you're big Ravana, you'll be fortunate. God will come and kill you. They're not so fortunate. They become mini Ravanas and go to hell. Because the fortune of being killed by Lord doesn't come to them. If you, like Ravana, do activities, be ready. Hell is waiting for you. You will not be blessed like Ravana. Ravana was fortunate actually. Lord Rama came and killed him. So he became blessed. Because when you're punished by the Lord, that is also blessing. Personally by the Lord. Otherwise you are always punished. So where we come to now, so the learned, and Lord Rama is the personification of love. So we have to choose what kind of activities you want to, who is your hero? You see in the heroes of people, what pictures they put in. All Ravanas, mini Ravanas. And that is their hero, means is a demonic civilization which is progressing today. Nobody's hero is Lord Rama. Even people hesitate to name their children nowadays. You tell them, put the name of the child Ram. No, yeah, you know. And people also will not chant that name. They will somehow twist something. Like I told you, I had when I was in Infosys, there was one person whose name was Gangadhar, name of Lord Shiva. That's also auspicious to chant. Nobody used to call him Gangadhar. They used to call him Gang. they miss the fortune of even chanting that name somehow. Because it cannot come, I told you in the beginning. Holy name of the Lord will not come in the mouth of a sinner. It will never come. You can't chant. If you want also, you can't chant the name of the Lord. You will not be able to chant because you are sinful. How you can chant the name of the Lord? You will not develop an interest to chant the name of the Lord. It will only come when you develop a desire to serve the Lord. The Nama Purusha will manifest on your tongue and start dancing. You will find chanting so easy. Correct? Sometimes you find chanting very difficult because Nama doesn't want to dance on your tongue. It doesn't want to dance because you have no service attitude. You don't want to serve the Lord. He will not come. He will not come on. Take us a development. So as Nishtha stage comes, there is Nirantara Nama. Not only the holy names come, there is constantly, not only he is engaged in chanting, he is constantly engaged. Bhaksan the Prabhupada says, he is blissfully, constantly engaged in devotion service to the Lord. 24 hours, he is enthusiastically engaged in a devotion service, but still, the natural love for Krishna has not opened. That happens at the topmost stage. So what is happening in the beginning stage? A trust. Trust develops on the Lord. If I just serve the Lord, my life will be so wonderful. And in the medium stage, what develops is that Nirantara, constant engagement in devotion service without a break. But still spontaneous, still on the sadhana platform. Next level now, Raganuga platform slowly opens. Ruchi comes. A pleasure develops. Then affection develops for the Lord. Ruchi, asakti. Then bhava, preliminary love for Lord. And the heart then bursts open with love for Krishna. The pure love is tasted at that moment. Because people do not know pure love of the Lord, therefore this rubbish behavior, boys and girls, they call it love and they make songs. And those people who have tasted, even smelled it, there's something called tasting. Just like some rich people know sometimes. So many dishes are there when you go for a feast. You can't eat.
We just see and maybe smell that. We can't eat so many dishes. Sometimes you go to some hotel, they have hundreds of sweets. You can't eat. We just smell and see. We enjoy by seeing. So same way, even the love of Krishna, you have just smelled it. Forget about drinking it. You will lose attraction for so-called cheating love of this world. Nothing. It's just making use of other person. If you have intelligence to discriminate, it is not love. It is just making use of each other and enjoying, exploiting each other. It's exploitation. It's not benefiting each other. So anyway, so this pure love of Krishna, when it develops, then we can access a place called Goloka, which is the highest information given in, which is a confidential reveal in Brahma Samhita. It's a very confidential revelation. It's the beginnings, Prabhupada says, only few people in this world know about the existence of this place. Even so many Vaishnava Sampradayas don't talk about Goloka, they talk about Vaikuntha. Goloka is not revealed. Goloka is there, very confidentially kept some places in the scripture. Like Brahma Samhita we saw now here, correct? Brahma Samhita glorifies. And Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada has also quoted, because he was a living encyclopedia, he has quoted from Chandogya Upanishad, another description of Goloka. Is there, but it is, you will not be able to understand that. You will not be able to understand that. It is there. Just like, that devotee I told you, he met a Muslim and he asked him, where in Quran it is written that Allah sits on a golden throne. Is it true or not? He said, yes. Then how you say Allah doesn't have form? So he said, we take it symbolically. They can't understand. It's there. It's there because God is person. God can't be person. It is there, but they get stuck. Must be some kind of a glorification and they leave it. But it is there and they have no explanation for that. So similarly, those are impersonalists, they generally read only Upanishads. But here Chandogya Upanishad says about the description of Goloka. So what they do about it? They just leave it. They can't understand. So therefore the description of Goloka is lying in the scriptures, and that should be your ultimate destination. And we should have that desire in our heart. And faith should develop actually. Not that we live at an immature neophyte faith. We should develop that faith. Prabhupada says, he was talking to the priest. He said, you believe in the next life? He said, yes. Prabhupada said, no, you believe superficially. If you really believe, your activities will be different. Just like, I am studying in a college, and after the college I have to go somewhere else. So much I'll be worried about what I will do after the college, what placement I will have, or in medicine, which specialization I will take, where I will take, what I have to do for that. People in third year itself in medicine start preparing. Fourth year itself, internship, instead of internship, they're preparing for that exam. Correct? They know this will not end. There is end to this. They know this. After this, I have to go somewhere. Similarly, engineering, I know I finished 4 years. After this, I have to do. So similarly, we are not really convinced there is next life. If you are convinced there is next life, we will not live it the way we live. We are superficially convinced, not honestly convinced. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives the formula, the law of transmigration. Just like your Newton law, there is law of transmigration. What is that? Yanti deva pitreyanti pitrevataha bhutani yanti bhuteja madhyajinopi yanti mam. He says that, what does he say? That if you worship devatas, you go to their abode. And then yanti devavataha devan. If you worship the pitris, you go to Pitriloka. There is another place, Pitriloka. And if you worship bhutas, where local people are fond of, you become another bhuta next life. And then and then last is if you worship me, you come to me. But people have created, what we have is so-called Hinduism today is Buddhism, not Hinduism, it's Buddhism. This word doesn't exist in the Vedas, Hinduism. So they say whatever you do, you go same result. What is the nonsense? But Krishna is not saying that. Sometimes say, that is one when I was talking to somebody in one college. No, that is ISKCON interpretation. I said, no, that is Krishna's interpretation. If I think I accept Krishna as authority, that is my mistake. Finally, that's fine. But Krishna says, I am repeating it. Krishna says, Yanti Deva Prata Deva. And if you worship any Devata, you go to their abode. You go to Ganesha, you go to Ganesha's abode. You go to Shiva, you go to Shiva's abode. You are not going to Vaikuntha. Definitely you are not going to Vaikuntha, which is the ultimate destination. You're not going. But if you worship bhutas, you become a bhuta. And if you worship Devi, Devatas, you become that. And you worship Pitris, you go there. But only when you worship Krishna, you go to Vaikuntha. This is itself a revolution for the kind of Hinduism being practiced today. Correct? It will be revolution if you speak this in society today. Yeah? They think everything is same. Yeah, everything is same. Nursery, 1st, 10th, 12th, all are same. They are there, but nursery is nursery. Anyway, so our idea is that we should not lose sight. Prabhupada again repeats, don't lose sight of so many distractions which are there in this world, and we should keep focus to reach Krishna's lotus feet. We should keep putting water in this Kripa devotional service. Somehow by good fortune, with this much, hopefully we have got this day that if I serve Krishna, my life will be successful. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness. This is the beginning. And as you grow, don't lose sight. This is not enough. You have to keep cultivating. There is huge science of that. That's what Prabhupada said. You know, that mother of the devotee was telling Prabhupada, you know, that my son should be educated more. I want him to do post-graduation, this. Isn't that important? Prabhupada said, what is the result of this so-called nonsense education? What do they do after that? They do educate it. This is all money-making education. You ask honestly, not one student in any college is interested in what you study. Nobody. Let us be honest. They are just studying it to get some money. And what do you want to do with money? Eat, sleep, mate. That animals do without education. Why you need education for that? Animals are better than you then. They don't have to do all this nonsense education to eat, sleep and mate. Actually, this is the purposeless education. It's not a complete education at least. It's not complete because it is just by this education, nobody will become happy. Correct? You see how much enthusiasm parents show. They every day take the child for schools, colleges for 20 years, but they don't even have an idea of this, that this education that I'm bringing my child to will not satisfy my child. And they themselves are not satisfied even though they achieve pinnacle of this education, if they are. You ask a Nobel laureate, is he happy? No. This is not complete education. This education is just for eating, sleeping, that animals are also doing in their own way, without your so-called universities. So this is the fundamental mistake in the modern civilization. You know, we can just be exasperated. Big universities, they lack this, just teaching about the Jadavastu matter. How to bend an iron, and that's all it is. How to bend an iron, how to bend an iron. They made the whole universities about it. Now how can somebody be satisfied of learning how to bend an iron? So limited information that is. So this complete education, therefore Prabhupada then continues to say, here we are educating him in a different way. We are educating him. We are also educating him. But we will educate him in a different way. How to develop love for God. How to know God and love him in completeness so that his life can be perfect. So this should be very principle in our heart. That apart from whatever I have to do for my livelihood, that's okay. That takes 8 hours. You take anybody, 8 hours, maybe after you come home another 4 hours. Still 4 hours are there, everybody. We just have to organize our time properly. There is enough time. Everybody should invest in developing trust in the Lord. That is what we have to do. It is in God we trust, they say in America. It's all fast. Proverbs used to say it's a humbug slogan. How can you trust somebody without knowing him? So to know the Lord, to know about his activities, every day we have to spend time and hear. And hear from the realized source. Hear the words of the great acharyas. And then what happens? Gradually our faith develops, matures, and it becomes firm. And then we become candidate for going to Goloka, which is being mentioned in this. And what is a Goloka? Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Every moment we are enjoying. Prabhupada says the devotees have no desire because people get distracted. There are 2 words, Shanti, Ananda, which people are working for in this world. Correct? Some people do the gymnastics, yoga also for them. That will not give you Shanti and Ananda, just for some health maybe. And neither they know how to do it properly. So what we are looking for is Shanti and Ananda. That only is a possession of a devotee. Because other people are lusty, they want something. They want something. But devotee wants only one thing. What? Personal association of the Lord. His heart is beating from that. Correct? Just like a child is not at home, the parents are waiting. for personal association. They are so happy when the child comes. If the child doesn't feel anything special, the parents are waiting. That affection is there for personal association. But that is just a reflection of the real love of the Lord. So when somebody's heart is awakened, he has developed love for the Lord, the symptom is heart is beating for association of the Lord. That's a symptom you have become a pure devotee now. And do we have that now? No. So how do we say, trust in God? Nothing will happen. You will remain in this world with that. And the end of your life, heart is beating for some woman, heart is beating for some money, heart is beating for some position. Stay in this world and rot. That's all, rot again. And again see fearful conditions of this world. So the devotee is fortunate because it's not easy. He's cultivating whole life. And when labor of love, learned labor of love is done, then Krishna becomes satisfied. And even though he continues his sadhana, love starts manifesting in his heart by the will of Krishna. Athapi te deva padam bhajam daya prashadalesha anugrahita evivi. Just by Krishna's mercy, Krishna's kindness, when he gets noticed by the Lord, then the love of Krishna, easily Krishna does not give that. Krishna gives easily money and power, but easily Krishna does not give this love. Because this you can't cheat. You have to really, Krishna can be convinced, yes, he wants to serve me. Then the love of the God will manifest in the heart. And one love of God will manifest in the heart, his heart beats for personal association of Krishna. And when you come to that stage, then you can know trust has developed. Constantly prayers are going on with the Lord, and heart is beating for purpose. Just like when Madhavendra Puri was leaving the world, what was he? Crying. He was crying. I am not able to enter Mathura. He was crying and crying. That is his heart is beating. He is one of the exalted acharyas in our parampara. His heart was beating for association of Krishna. Okay, so we have to hear. Therefore, we have to sit and read about all this thing. We have to completely change the constant nonsense ideals and heroes we have in this world. Because they are all after money and women. Why you want to waste your time about them? Don't waste your time hearing about them, talking about them. All garbage. Therefore, you have to keep some time and hear about the scriptures, hear about these personalities, hear about the Lord. And then, Prabhupada said, just like a child, suppose, he has gone out of home for 40 years. He comes back home. How much time it takes for the love of father and son to awaken again? Does it take a lot of time? Suppose the child has gone home 40 years, he has not come home, gone to America, not come home, correct? After 40 years, he comes back home. How much time it will take for love to awaken? Actually, it will take no time. It's natural. So similarly, love for Krishna, we are not artificially imposing, it's there in the heart. Shavanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakta Sadhu Kavanaya. It's not an artificial imposing. It is eternally established in the heart. But if we apply, that is left to us. Prabhupada says, process is very easy, it is for you to take it. So if we accept the process, immediately love for Krishna manifests in the heart. And then our life becomes successful. And then we will know there is nothing higher than this. That is the ultimate success of life. Srila Prabhupada ki, Brahma Samhita ki.